She doesn't ask where you are anymore. Doesn't check your phone. Doesn't question when you're late. Doesn't care when you cancel plans. You forgot her birthday. She smiled and said it's fine. You came home at 3 a.m. She was asleep, woke up, said nothing, went back to sleep. You didn't text all day. She didn't notice. And this should feel like peace, should feel like trust, should feel like mature relationship. But it doesn't. Something's wrong. Something's different. Something's off. She used to care, used to ask, used to react. Now nothing. You tell her about your day. She's scrolling her phone. Says without looking up. You suggest plans for a weekend. She says whatever you want. Doesn't offer preference. Doesn't suggest alternative. You're upset about something. She nods, says that's tough. Goes back to what she was doing. No engagement, no interest, no investment. You're talking to someone who's physically present, but mentally somewhere else. Emotionally checked out. Psychologically gone. And here's what happened. Here's what this means. Here's what you're actually seeing. She didn't become more understanding. She became indifferent, didn't develop trust. She stopped caring. Didn't mature, she detached. Indifference looks like understanding from outside. Detachment appears like trust when you're not paying attention. Being done seems like maturity if you want to believe it. You wanted to believe it. Wanted to think finally she's not overreacting. Finally she's giving you space. Finally relationship is easy. Easy because she stopped fighting for it. Space because she stopped caring about it. Not overreacting because nothing you do registers anymore. When person stops reacting, it's not because problems are solved. It's because person stopped caring if problems exist. Not because they trust you more, because they're invested in you less, not because relationship improved, because relationships stopped mattering to them. She stopped reacting the day she stopped caring about outcome. Stopped responding the day she decided relationship was over. Stopped engaging the day she concluded you weren't worth the energy. And conclusion was made silently. Decision happened internally. Determination occurred without announcement. No conversation about it. No declaration. No explanation. Just shift. Just change. Just internal departure. From caring to not caring. From invested to detached. From present to absent. And shift happened at specific moment. Change occurred at particular time. Departure began on certain day. Day when something happened that made her realize. Moment when she understood something she hadn't understood before. Time when conclusion became clear. Conclusion that you weren't going to change. That relationship wasn't going to work. That she was done trying. Maybe it was when you promised something for 10th time and didn't deliver for 10th time. Maybe it was when she needed you and you weren't there in a way that finally mattered. Maybe it was accumulation of smaller things that reached threshold. But there was moment, there was day, there was time. Time when she decided, day when she concluded, moment when she stopped caring if you came home late, stopped minding if you forgot things, stopped reacting when you were distant. Because caring, minding, reacting, these require investment. These need energy. These demand belief that it matters. And she stopped believing it matters, stopped having energy for it, stopped being invested in outcome, stopped believing you would change, stopped having energy to fight about it, stopped being invested in relationship working. When you came home late, she didn't ask because she stopped caring about your whereabouts. When you forgot something, she didn't react because she stopped expecting you to remember when you were distant. She didn't respond because she stopped needing you close. Each non-reaction was evidence of detachment. Each silence was proof of departure. Each indifference was demonstration of being done. You interpreted as peace, it was ending. You understood as trust, it was indifference. You read as maturity, it was her being gone. And here's why most men miss this completely. Why they don't see it until too late. Why they misread silence as improvement. Men are trained to solve problems, to reduce conflict, to create peace. Problem exists, you solve it. Conflict appears, you reduce it. Chaos emerges. You create order. This is how men are taught to operate, how they're conditioned to think, how they're programmed to respond. So when woman stops creating problems, stops generating conflict, stops producing chaos, man interprets as success. Success at solving, success at reducing, success at creating order. Mission accomplished, problem solved, objective achieved. But woman wasn't problem to be solved, wasn't conflict to be reduced, wasn't chaos to be ordered. Woman was person expressing investment through engagement, demonstrating care through reaction, showing presence through response. And when engagement stops, when reaction ceases, when response ends, it's not because man succeeded at solving woman. It's because woman stopped being invested enough to engage, stopped caring enough to react, stopped being present enough to respond. Man sees problem solved, woman has departed. Man sees conflict reduced, woman has detached. Man sees peace achieved, woman is gone. Different metrics, different measurements, different interpretations. Man measuring problem reduction, woman experiencing investment withdrawal. Man tracking conflict decrease, woman processing emotional departure. Man observing peace establishment, woman executing internal exit. Same behaviors, opposite meanings. Her silence means success to him, means ending to her. Her non-reaction means peace to him, means departure to her. Her indifference means maturity to him, means being done to her. And misreading continues until it can't continue anymore, until she makes it clear, until departure becomes physical. Then man is confused, is shocked, doesn't understand what happened. Everything was fine. Everything was peaceful. Everything was good. How did this happen? When did this start? Why didn't she say something? She did say something. She said it through silence, through non-reaction, through indifference. She said it every day she didn't ask where you were, every time she didn't react to what you did, every moment she didn't respond to who you are. But saying through absence is only heard by those listening for absence, only recognized by those watching for withdrawal, only understood by those measuring investment, not just conflict. Most men aren't listening for absence, aren't watching for withdrawal, aren't measuring investment. They're listening for problems, watching for conflict, measuring peace. And they hear no problems, see no conflict, measure peace. So they conclude everything is fine, everything is working, everything is good. While she's concluding everything is over, everything is finished, everything is done. Two people, same relationship, opposite conclusions. His conclusion based on external metrics, her conclusion based on internal reality. His metrics say relationship is healthy. Her reality says relationship is dead. And dead is dead regardless of what metrics say. Ended is ended regardless of what measurements show. Finished is finished regardless of what observations indicate. Here's the point of no return. The moment when recovery becomes impossible. The time when reversal can't happen. Point when she stops reacting isn't the point of no return. Point of no return happened before that, earlier than that. Prior to that, point of no return is when she stopped believing you would change, stopped thinking relationship would improve, stopped hoping future would be different. When belief dies, when thought ends, when hope disappears, that's point of no return. Because without belief in change, person doesn't invest in changing. Without thought of improvement, person doesn't work toward improving. Without hope for different future, person doesn't fight for future. Investment stops, work ends, fighting ceases, and when these stop, reactions stop, responses end, engagement disappears. She stopped reacting because she already passed point of no return. Stopped responding because recovery was already impossible. Stopped engaging because reversal already couldn't happen. Stopping reaction is symptom, not cause. Stopping response is evidence, not origin. Stopping engagement is result, not beginning. Beginning happened earlier, origin occurred before, cause existed prior. When she stopped believing, when she stopped thinking, when she stopped hoping, that was beginning. That was origin. That was cause. Everything after was just progression, just continuation, just inevitable unfolding. Progression toward non-reaction, continuation toward non-response, inevitable unfolding toward non-engagement. She stopped reacting because she already decided to leave. Stopped responding because she already concluded relationship was over. Stopped engaging because she already determined partnership was finished. Decision, conclusion, determination. These happened at point of no return. Non-reaction, non-response, non-engagement. These happened after point of no return. After decision was made, after conclusion was reached, after determination was finalized. You're seeing symptom and thinking it's the problem. Observing evidence and thinking it's the cause. Noticing result and thinking it's the beginning. But problem happened earlier. Cause occurred before. Beginning existed prior. When she stopped believing you would change, that was the problem. When she stopped thinking relationship would improve, that was the cause. When she stopped hoping, that was the beginning. Point of no return. And past point of no return, recovery is impossible. Reversal can't happen. Restoration won't occur. Not because you can't change, because she stopped believing you will change. Not because relationship can't improve, because she stopped thinking it will improve. Not because future can't be different, because she stopped hoping it will be different. Her belief, her thought, her hope, these are what make recovery possible, reversal achievable, restoration conceivable. Without these, relationship is over regardless of what you do. Connection is ended regardless of how you change. Partnership is finished regardless of what you become. Because relationship requires two people believing, connection needs two people thinking it can work. Partnership demands two people hoping. When one person stops believing, stops thinking, stops hoping, relationship ends for that person. And relationship ending for one person ends relationship for both. She stopped reacting to you. And stopping was evidence she already passed point of no return. Was symptoms she already decided to leave. Was result of belief already dead. Thought already ended. Hope already gone. You're seeing non-reaction now. Decision happened then. You're noticing silence today. Conclusion was reached weeks ago. You're observing indifference currently. Determination was made months prior. Timeline gap between cause and symptom. Distance between origin and evidence. Space between beginning and result. Gap of weeks. Distance of months. Space of time between when she decided and when you noticed. During gap, she was managing exit. During distance, she was preparing departure. During time, she was organizing leaving. While you thought everything was fine, while you believed peace was good, while you assumed relationship was healthy, she was planning departure, preparing exit, organizing leaving, different realities, different experiences, different timelines. She stopped reacting to you because you stopped mattering to her. Stopped responding because you stopped being relevant to her. Stopped engaging because you stopped being important to her. And not mattering, not being relevant, not being important. These are being over. Being finished, being done. She stopped reacting to you. That was the evidence. Decision was already made. Point of no return was already passed. Relationship was already over.